DevTech 101, aka Black Mentors. We discuss information technology, also known as IT. In today's video, we're going to go over a small networking switch. And this is a Cisco switch that I have in my possession. This device is not used. It's not in a production environment. This is basically just for education and entertainment purposes only. So anything that you see in the DevTech 101 Black Mentor tutorial videos, you're doing so at your own risk, and we are not solely responsible for any system outages that may happen. So if you can agree with that, people, let's go ahead and jump right to it. So with this particular switch here, we have a Catalyst 2960 series. This is an old switch. And I got this because I wanted to show you all physically what a switch looked like. Now, I'm not talking about the switch the kids used to get spankings with. I'm not talking about a light switch or anything like that. This switch is what helps control a network. Remember, routers connect different places together. Switches connect the internal components of the building together. So if you were on the episode where I was talking about the computers and breaking down the computers, once you understand the computing aspect, people, then it's going to be so easy to understand the routing and switching aspect of IT. So let's go ahead and break this down so that you all have a thorough understanding of where I'm going from with this. So you have a switch, okay? Your switch. And the switch is going to be an intricate component to your computing, okay? So if you look on the back of here, this port right here, when you turn on your computer at home, most of your computers are Wi-Fi enabled. But if you look very closely, when you have Wi-Fi enabled computers, that means that it's wireless, okay? It connects from here directly to your modem router somewhere in your house. But if you're like most people who like to have things wired because you don't like wireless for some reason, you can have it networked in. When you hear the term networked in, what that means is that you're taking a physical network cable, you're plugging it into the network port on the back of your computer, and that goes and runs through the ceiling, runs through the wall, runs through your wall jack, goes up the wire, and then it goes to a small switch. And this is in an office environment, okay? A small switch. That small switch then has ports on it, whether they're gigabyte ports or not, that will go from here to your router or to some other CPE, customer premise equipment within your facility, and then out to the internet. But with the routing and switching, now I'm not an expert in the routing and switching aspect, but what I do know how to do is if you put me anywhere in the building, I can run that cable, I can terminate the cable, I can put the jacks in the wall, I can run the cable over, I can plug it into here, and I can configure this switch right here with each specific port has what they call a VLAN, a virtual local area network. That means that either all these are on the same network or they are not. You can put them on different things depending on what type of device that you have. But the basics of using the Cisco commands to switch the different components up so that way you know where things go and how they're routed and stuff like that will make a lot of sense. The best way to learn routing and switching is to get you an old one of these online here. Now, some of them have what they call a console port on the back. And a console port is where you will plug it in, and that console port allows you to use CLI or command line interface in order to get into the device itself. If you're interested in networking, like when I started dealing with these right here and breaking these down, that's more of desktop computing or computer operations or IT operations. This is more network operations. So if you are going to school to be a network administrator, you want to start breaking these down, doing the CCNA or CCE, I believe it's CCENT and then CCNA and then there's a CCIE as well. But the CCNA is very common. On the sides, there are mounts that you can put on there. These help mount it onto a rack. So if you have a rack for this, it's basically going to hang levitated onto some type of platform. These devices on a company network will always stay on. You do not turn these off for any reason. Even if there's a power outage, hopefully the building that you're in has some type of backup power supply, but you do not turn these off. And just to tell you how old that this device is, this device was manufactured about in 2007. But even if you're still getting one of these devices, you can still learn the basic switching. And what they've done now is taken these types of devices and the computers, and they have moved this to the cloud, like Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, or something like that. So if you love IT, people, get you one of these devices, get you an old computer, plug it up, configure it, get your old switch, plug it up, configure it. Cisco commands are online, all of that. That's how I learned. I did not learn this in a classroom. I learned this just by getting hands-on and just turn things up. Set up your home network, then proceed if you can. Side hustle to a business network, totally up to you. But definitely post your comments in the channel, people. Like I said, I want to bring a community of tech enthusiasts together, people who are newly coming into IT, people who have never been into IT, and they want to learn how computing works, how networking works, and how the basics of IT works, people. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Once again, you all have a wonderful rest of your day.